already made that as a notation.
as well as CIP
So
two.
it's locked down, but you can delete?
Yes.
Can't add, you
Yes.
can delete.
Got it. I would ask that in the future, next year, since the Park and Recreation Department is a department, to let them come here and present their own capital improvement items. Well, I don't, in fairness to Dick, I mean, why should he be forced to present another department's information?
Sure.
Because, you know, this is what's gonna happen, he's got enough to deal with, and then, you know, they're very, very, efficient people, and they adequately can stand up here in front of us and give us a description of what they want. I don't think they need to have anyone do it for them. That's my suggestion. I don't wanna speak on behalf of the board, but I'd like to make that recommendation.
If I may, work off of that, Mike, isn't,
Sorry, Bob, I had asked it in the future to keep these problems from happening again. Since the Park and Recreation is a department of their own, to allow them to come to these meetings for capital improvement and make their own presentation rather than going through the DPW.
there's a question on that, does that not fall under the DPW's budget?
No, they have their own budget.
Actually, the Parks and Recreation is an enterprise fund,
Right.
which to me raises a whole host of other issues. Typically, the Hillview is an enterprise fund and the Water Department is an enterprise fund. We're not funding their capital improvements from free cash. If you want to do that, that's fine, but what I'm saying to you is, if you create an enterprise fund, the funding source should be from the enterprise fund.
All right, so,
But-
then-
in a-
It's not,
in a
but it's not
perfect
100%, but not
I
100% of the
understand.
funding is
I
coming
understand.
from the enterprise, so.
Right.
But we do have, we did earmark $52,000 in free cash under Article 5 for the Toro Groundmaster. 52,000, not 52,085, 52.
Police is now 75.
In his proposal, he said it's
Chair.
written, maybe from what.
No, I'm
what's
just
written.
making
It's
notes.
here.
Yeah.
No, it's
Yes.
not, well, this is wrong too.
No, it's on the use
Well,
of free
I
cash.
actually
No,
think-
For the 14,000 he struck here, both of them were in there.
I have to make the note somewhere.
I guess the question I have for you, Greg, is that we will not be able to change the $14,000 under Article 6.
No, we just delete it.
We'll delete it, and we'll put it in the Article 5, under the recreation budget. Yes, no, Mr. O'Leary? We don't have any choice if we're gonna do it now. Or, my next question to Marty might be, what if we wait and put this in the budget at our next town meeting, which could be, which is most likely gonna be June? Can you wait till June?
I just think that puts us behind. I mean, we're struggling now with what we have. Like I said, we're repairing these mowers daily, it's almost. And if we go into June, that's our biggest cutting seasons is spring and fall, where we're that's where the most growth is, where we're constantly just cutting.
Yeah, that would delay
Yeah.
that would delay its
You know,
delivery
it'd be
probably.
more costly
Although
to
they could do
up-
like Hillview, get it delivered on a promise.
Maintain-
And given the reality of the funding's not available to probably July 1st. If it's not on the shelf, then it's further delayed. They want to see it to the season after, so I don't recommend delaying.
And just in relation to the cemetery mower, what is it right now? We're just making choices apparently as far as we have in our packet, which may be a little different, obviously it's
I
not
heard
different.
what Dick said, that if we're going forward with the recreation department mower, they'd hold off on asking for the cemetery mower.
Offset the cost.
Can those?
I just wanna make sure that that's wise or, okay, I mean, I know you're offering it up, but.
I don't recall seeing the cemetery
Me too.
mower on the
Okay,
capital
me too, fine.
list that we were shown.
I'm sorry?
I don't recall seeing the cemetery mower on the capital list that we were shown about a month and a half ago. So I don't know how it even rose into here. It got converted from a parks to a cemetery mower. I don't even think we should consider it. Let's move on.
I'd like to say something.
Mr. Yule?
Yeah, what will happen with the two mowers that you have? What would you do with those?
I would use one of them, and the other one, you know, it's parts for they're both the same simple mowers, so, I don't don't really think we could get much for trade-in for it, so basically as a backup,
But,
when it breaks down,
Okay.
which happens.
and Dick, did you say that they're too big for the cemetery, the mowers that they have?
I'm sorry, what?
The mowers that they have, are they too big for the cemetery?
No, we all have the same type of mower.
Okay.
But the large one he's talking about getting,
No,
that,
no, no.
that,
I'm
that
talking
wouldn't
about-
fit.
I'm talking about the two that have,
No, all of our 5 mowers that the town owns, between DPW and the parks, are the basic same type. They vary in width, a couple
I
inches.
thought you said that yours were in pretty bad shape, if not worse than his,
Mhm.
right? So can his be given to you to,
They're essentially done the maintenance at the same time, but I think the one he's talking about that keeps breaking the mounts, that's probably gonna be just parts being cannibalized. This one is in very bad shape. And I think the other one, they bought a new deck for, that's the thing with the cutting pieces out. That whole deck is shifted out and replaced, so that gives it a little more life.
what is the return on this? You say have a 10-year lifespan on this, or maybe 12 if all goes well. What's the return on investment on this?
I would say that we'd be able to mow more efficiently by at least 30%. At least 30%.
So
Allows us-
pay for itself when?
For example,
$52,000
they,
is a lot of money.
the skate park. You know, the skate park's been shut down because of repairs. The people that installed the skate park, the quote for them to fix it was $33,000. $5,000 in materials and $28,000 in labor. We took that on ourselves, you know, I'm just trying to, you know, it's still not open, but, you know, it frees us up more time to do more things like that.
To answer the
But
question,
what's the payback?
Jeff, you'd have to know how many man-hours he's spending cutting the grass today versus how many man-hours he's gonna spend cutting the grass with the new mower. Probably doesn't have that information with him today.
And the
That
thing is, what
project-
it's gonna do is gonna free them up to take care of other things too,
That's it.
you know,
But
so
that-
I don't think there's a payback period, I think it's just working more efficiently, taking care, I mean, we
Yeah, I
have
mean,
more,
I
we have
think-
more fields to take care of now than we've ever had.
Yeah.
And,
I think we're at the max of
Yeah, I think-
of our
And I think
efficiency.
Marty's requests from all over the town only increase yearly, and they don't decrease.
Gentlemen, I'd like to move this along.
Oh,
because
sounds good.
It seems like the majority of the board is in support of the mower, so. That's it for the operating budget?
It is.
Okay, and I will prepare a presentation and do the operating budget article. Capital budget, I think we've gone through that.
So too.
So we're
So,
really gonna go with the dump truck? No, I'm only kidding, I don't wanna get it.
who would like to? Who would? You guys getting real hard to handle these days.
I'm just kidding.
Who would like to do the capital article?
what's that, Article 6?
Mr. O'Leary?
Bob's doing fine.
Okay, so, on the, let's go back to Article 5. I'd like a motion to approve the changes discussed in Article 5. Do I hear a motion?
Move to recommend.
Motion by Mr. O'Leary, seconded by Mr. Delaney. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, unanimous. On Article 6.
I move to recommend Article 6.
Motion by Mr. Prisco. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Delaney. All in favor?
I think we are,
Just
as
a
amended.
quick- Yeah, as amended. We're taking out of that the
Lawnmower.
lawnmower comes.
And
Cruiser.
the police cruiser.
Cruiser
The cruiser
replacement.
comes out, and the Parks Turf mower.
Yeah, CIP 2 and CIP 7 are out.
Well, I
As
took it,
amended,
there's
all
less
in
to talk
favor?
about. Less to talk about, that's why I took it.
Makes your job easier.
Okay, fund services related to water and wastewater. Mr. Beliconis,
There's no funds requested under this article as a placeholder, really.
are we gonna pass over it?
I would suggest that's appropriate.
I'll do that one.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to,
I move to recommend Article 7. I'm sorry, pass over. Pass over Article 7.
motion by Mr. Prisco. Do I hear a second? Second by Mr. Delaney. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? I guess you own this one, Michael. Pass
Takes
over.
the easy ones.
Article 8, appropriate rebates for future conservation projects.
You have any?
Small, yeah, there's some small dollars that are available from RMLD. I don't have the exact number off the top of my head, but it's,
$14,000.
I think it was somewhere in there.
In my conversation with John, not the double.
Well, I guess we're gonna recommend it, right? I'll entertain a motion to recommend.
Motion to recommend, Article 8.
Do we hear a second?
Second.
Mr. Yule, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, unanimous. Mr. Yule will do that since he's the liaison. Appropriate money to the stabilization fund.
That's me. Just go back.
You have a
50,000?
recommendation there, right?
Yeah, I do, I just need to find it on my. Second. Article 9, I would recommend that we have $50,000 we would add to the stabilization fund.
Motion to recommend Article.
Discussion first. This is coming from free cash or?
It's
raising
coming
appropriate?
from free cash.
Free cash.
Present amount in the stabilization fund is $1,753,000.
Okay, on the motion, on Article 9 to recommend, do we have a motion?
Motion to recommend Article 9.
Moved by Mr. Delaney, seconded by Mr. Yule. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And, wanna do that, Sean?
Sure.
Finally.
Okay, transfer
I was
funds.
gonna take all the streets, but we can have those.
I was actually gonna take them all.
Transfer funds to capitalization.
The amount
Stabilization fund.
requested is $108,500 from free cash.
Discussion. This is funds coming from,
This is the money that's promised to us from the Commonwealth. Supplemental state aid due for this fiscal year.
what'll happen is we will, just so everybody understands, we'll take it from free cash. That money is due in around the end of October, according to Representative Jones. At that point, it comes into the general fund, and we can make a request for a supplemental free cash adjustment. And it'll go into free cash to offset the amount that we're putting in.
Just, excuse me, just double check, that was
$108,500. And the balance in that fund is $375,000.
Current balance.
Current
Before the
balance.
transfer.
Current balance before the transfer.
Do I hear a motion?
Motion to recommend Article 10.
Motion.
Second.
Mr. Delaney, seconded by Mr. Briscoe.
I'll take
All in
that too.
favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And Sean said he will take it. Article 11, transfer funds to other post-employment benefits liability trust fund.
Amount is $24,000 from free cash. The logic behind the amount is this is the amount that we would have turned back from my health insurance account, closed out as a balance on June 30th.
Questions, discussion?
Move to
This is
recommend.
the unfunded liability.
This is the
that we're
unfunded
gonna
liability.
Start to make some progress against.
Move to recommend.
I
Mr.
second it.
O'Leary, recommend, oh. Sorry.
We're going too fast for you, sorry.
No, I just had a little family issue, and it's, Mr. O'Leary, on the motion by Mr. O'Leary, seconded by Mr. Prisco. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Might as well take that too.
Okay, Sean's taking that. Flagpole replacement. Mr. O'Leary, you wanna comment on that at this point? Give us an update?
Yeah, things are progressing very well at this point. Again, first of all, I'd like to acknowledge everybody's efforts here in relation to the Veteran Services, Sue Magnet, DPW Director, and John Welch, and the Historic District Commission for favorably taking action on the proposal that was put forth that Mr. Welch and I presented to them a couple of weeks ago. And DPW Director has the specifics on it in relation to how we're gonna proceed. I know you've got requests for proposals out there for the pole. DPW is going to excavate the site in order to keep it under the public bidding law amount, and then the patio and shrubbery that's gonna be done will be done probably in the spring. And the HDC has approved all of that, as well as the ancillary lighting, so, but Dick has all the details as to, up to date as recently as today, I guess.
Mr. Carnevale?
Yeah, apparently, as of right now, in the gift fund, there's $24,000 We have one quote in, and we're expecting 2 more quotes by tomorrow noon is the deadline, after the HDC meeting, I think on the 12th or 13th. John and I wrote a specification up, got it on the streets.